Okay, I know everyone is talking about the Stanley Cups, but give me a minute, please, please, please. I have something new to the conversation, I swear. There was the hydroflask. There was the Nalgene. There was that water bottle that collapsed when you tried to, remember, like opened and closed. There was the Yeti, and now there's the Stanley. And even with the Stanley, there's also the Allah. Why are we so obsessed with what we're drinking with? Now, this isn't a video about me complaining about Stanley Cups are stupid or showing you the TikToks of the Targets, because frankly it's been said. Everything about that topic has been said. Rather, we're going to explore the world of water bottles and water and why this is nothing new. What you drink water out of can now define your status, if you keep up with trends, your aesthetic, and even your subculture. The first real water bottle craze I remember was not even a water bottle at all, but rather the mason jar. Hipsters first in like the early 2010s were taking and reusing mason jars, the kind you put pickles in, jams, and using them as drinking containers. Semi-trendy bars would soon follow, buying bulk amounts of glass mason jars to make fancy cocktails out of. And the trend continued to grow until you could find a mason jar in every Ross and TJ Maxx imaginable. I mean, this trend was just as big as the Stanley craze. You could even buy a 7-Eleven Slurpee mason jar cup. Like, this was a thing. Now, every mom in America has a mason jar in the back of her cabinet for a dinner party or just a remnant of a bygone era. Rest in peace, the 2010s. Social media has greatly impacted what we value and what we want. The majority of us have an innate need to fit in. And when the it girl of our time, Emma Chamberlain, was seen with a hydro flask, Carmex, and scrunchies, suddenly everyone wanted a hydro flask, Carmex, and scrunchies. And hydro flasks were a craze quite similar to Stanley Cups. Tweens were asking for them for Christmas, crying when they got one. Cool girls at school would show off their new hydro flask color and brag about saving the turtles. But since creating video content wasn't as accessible as it is now, it wasn't as in our faces as it is today. Before, girls would show off their water bottles to mainly people in their real life, their friends, or maybe their Instagram or Viscos. It was a quiet status symbol among real life peers. Now you can just make a 15-second video showing off your Stanley tumbler collection and suddenly you have 1 million likes. And with the FYP format, it is literally in your face compared to YouTube, where you have to search previously Hydro Flask collection or Hydro Flask to find a video about Hydro Flask. Now TikTok will just present you with it without asking if you're even interested in it. So TikTok makes things feel bigger than they actually are? Yes. Well, maybe. That's my hypothesis, at least. Seeing 4 or 5 girls carrying around a hydro flask at school is one thing. It's easy to brush off and say they're their own subculture of girlhood or Visco girls. Seeing 80 people in a row on your FYP talk about their Stanley tumblers, and suddenly you feel left out. Suddenly it feels like you might be left out of some huge trend. So you want one too. Of course, because you've seen it 80 plus times on your feed and your brain is saying, well, if everyone else has it, I want one too. And all of a sudden you're standing outside of a Target at 6 a.m. asking, what am I doing with my life? How did I get here? Or maybe you're just excited to be part of something. Either way, it gets to you. And since it gets to adults that easily, imagine how quickly it gets to children and tweens. Being a tween is rough. Hormones, bullying, going to school. It's a rough time, and you have a desire to fit in even more so than you do as an adult. And so now on top of that, you're this child that has a TikTok account and you're swiping for your feed and you're seeing 80 plus people from around the world showing off their Stanley tumbler and you're the only one without one. So suddenly it does feel like it's the end of the world for you because everyone's cool and everyone has this thing and you do not get to have it. And when it feels like you're the only person in the world without something, in this case, the Stanley Cup, it's life-ending news, especially when you're 12 years old and this is the most important thing in the world ever. And since you're only 12 years old, you have no concept of fads or how much $45 is actually worth. So of course you're gonna beg your mom for one. You're the only one in the world without one. So why was it the Stanley Cup? Why not the Hydro Flask again? Why didn't something else blow up? Why are we so focused on this cup? I think it's because of 2 very big subcultures with massive followings. The clean girl aesthetic. They drink green juice, they do Pilates, they love their skincare, another hot button issue right now, and they love to hydrate. In order to achieve their ultimate aesthetic, moisturized skin, and healthy lifestyle. Clean girls love to tout all the benefits of drinking as much water as humanly possible. And the Stanley Cup really fits the bill for this. The current Stanley Cup that's making waves can hold up to 45 ounces of water, comes in a variety of colors, and it's designed in a way that can fit in your car cup holder, which literally, that was such a genius idea of the designers. I just have to say that. The clean girl has an unachievable lifestyle that everyone wants to replicate. And just like Emma Chamberlain, what's a way to be closer to your favorite influencer? Buying the products they have, of course. This is the same thing with Drunk Elephant. They see their favorite influencer swear by a product, so of course they're gonna go buy that product so they can feel like their favorite influencer when they're doing their skincare and drinking their water. The other main trend that may have influenced the Stanley Cup craze is watertok. Watertok was literally everywhere last year. You can go 5 minutes without seeing a YouTube video of someone trying birthday cake water. Can you believe they call this water? This is just sugar. We get it. It's not water. Anyway, what did every water talker have? That's right. The big ol' Stanley Cup. Once again, they hold a lot of water. They come in a variety of colors that match their fun drinks. I mean, water talkers were basically unpaid Stanley Cup brand ambassadors. You could not escape seeing a water talker and not seeing that iconic Stanley Cup. And since water talk was so prominent last year, people became interested in this cup. They're seeing it all over their feed. They're seeing their favorite YouTubers try to make the water talk recipes with the Stanley Cup. And suddenly it's like, well, maybe I'm missing out on something. Maybe this Stanley Cup is kind of brilliant. Another thing I want to briefly mention are the Stanley accessories. In the past, there were stickers you could put on your water bottle, maybe a keychain, maybe a carabiner that you could attach to your book bag. But Stanley fans take it to a whole new level. They have custom straw toppers, bags that you can pack and put on your Stanley. They have snack trays you can put on top of your Stanley, scratch protectors to put around your Stanley when it's in the car. If you can think of it, they probably have it for a Stanley. I bring this up, one, because I find it very fascinating. I don't think we've had a water bottle before that you could dress up like a Barbie doll. 2, I think this is another reason the Stanley craze has been able to get so big. It's also the outfit that matches with your outfit that your Stanley Cup's wearing. The cute little custom straw topper that only is available for Stanley Cups. The holder that you can wrap around for your Stanley Cup. It's become its own little culture. And in a society where we're desperately trying to make friends, of course you're gonna wanna cling on to it and become more involved because it is something to do. You're either in or you're out. So is the Stanley craze anything new? No. TikTok has just inflated it to make it look and feel bigger than it actually is. And that makes people want to go to Target and fight over it because they're seeing it everywhere. So clearly this must be an important piece of culture they must be a part of before it's too late and gone. It's literally only a matter of time before Stanleys become old news. I mean, they probably already are old news by now, and we move on to the next craze. I can't wait to see what it is. Thank you so much also for 100 subscribers. I'm very thankful for all of you guys watching the videos. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you want to join the fun girlies and friends. Thank you. Bye.